Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Craving Crypto podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be doing some Bittorrent analysis and going over the total market cap. So let's get right into this. So starting with the total market cap, I am zoomed clear out on the 3-day candlesticks right now, and I have the support and resistance drawn of this full market cycle. So as you guys know, a market cycle is when the market sees an impulsive move on the upside and then an impulsive move on the downside. What we have here is an impulsive move that started really in 2016 and 15 is when it started to accumulate. But it really ramped up through 2017. So we have this impulsive move on the upside and then this impulsive move on the downside. So that's a market cycle. Now, the real question that everybody wants to know is where the bottom of that cycle might be. There's no 100% sure way to tell, and trying to pick the exact bottom isn't exactly a healthy mindset in your trading strategies, but we can use support and resistance to find areas where a potential reversal can happen and places that we can keep our eyes so that we can watch for an uptrend to form up towards this next resistance level. And if we start getting above these resistance levels on the bigger time frame, then that will confirm that the uptrend is back in the markets and we could see a lot more upside in the future for crypto. Now, we do have to get through all of these resistance levels, so that's not going to happen overnight. But as we break above them, we'll have more confidence in the market as we get closer and closer to the previous market cap levels that we saw. The MACD is still completely in oversold territory, and using the Fibonacci retracement, we are in extremely low Fib retracements. Currently, we have kissed the 88% retracement, meaning that from the peak high of this cycle to our current low, we've dropped over 88% of the market's value. So this is often where you see a reversal in altcoins. In the previous Bitcoin cycles, we've seen reversals near the 786 and the 88% retracement over and over again. So this is a great spot for us to see some type of an uptrend forming. We'll just have to see how this little bullish engulfing candlestick takes us. If we start to get some serious buying above this level into the next few months, into the March and the May kind of pre-summer season, if we can really get above this, that will be good for the bulls as we would start to go up towards these other major resistance levels that we have now formed since we failed support from this inverse head and shoulder pattern back here in September of last year. Okay, now over to coinmarketcap.com for our top mover. Before we get into the top mover, I just wanted to point out that the overall market is trending sideways currently. We've got some up in the green, some up in the red. There isn't a ton of action either direction today, but we did see a nice little action from this little bounce off that support level right here in the total market cap. When this bounce happened, we did see some good action across the board in the crypto markets. So it would make sense that it's dying down a little bit because the majority of the move kind of already happened. Bitcoin went up 11% from the low and 8% in the 24-hour change that day. And we saw Litecoin up over 30% from this move. So it brought a lot of gains into the crypto space just off that little bounce. And it is interesting because this is a falling wedge pattern that occurred right here, right onto that support level. This is a bullish engulfing candlestick, and this is a bullish engulfing candlestick. So if we keep seeing higher highs and higher lows, this is starting to set up for a nice little trend on the upside. But let's just find our top mover for the day. We've got Komodo up 12%, so let's do some technical analysis on KMD. Okay, so in the big picture for KMD, this is another classical market cycle. You have the impulses starting in March of 2017, and then you have the bearish impulses starting in the beginning of 2018, taking us all the way back down. This is pretty typical of a cycle to retrace this hard, especially altcoins, because if they don't have a ton of exchanges or volume that they're being traded on, people are just going to dump them as they start to lose Bitcoin value. They're going to not care about it nearly as much. So as you can see, going from the low to the peak high, this was a 95% retracement. Now, what we'd want to watch here is any type of a breakout in our trend. So what does that mean? You go look and you find the areas where there's lower low trending. So like right here, all these resistances peeking out. So there's resistance, resistance, resistance. I've also got some downtrending resistance up here because it peaked out right here, and right here. So these are our downtrending resistance zones. If we start to break above these levels and make higher highs like this, and we start to get up towards being above these resistance zones and breaking above this resistance and this resistance, then that would be forming an uptrend. And with a 95% retracement, there's a lot of potential for upside with this coin. Even if it doesn't break a new all-time high ever, even if it was just to go up to some of the previous resistances and then kind of consolidate sideways or die out as a project in coin, you're still looking at 600% gains from current prices. So this is extremely undervalued in the big picture of its market cycle. On the short term, it just kind of looks like we're waiting for some of these breakouts of those downtrending resistance levels, and more volume would be nice as well for this one. Okay, now what you've all been waiting for, the Bittorrent analysis. This one is super hyped everywhere on Twitter right now. We've got a lot of people talking about it. So I figured I'd run it over because we've got a lot of volume in this coin, and it just ate up right into the top volume rankings. If we just go ahead and check on tools rankings, actually, 30-day volume. In the monthly volume, this coin has already ranked in the top of the monthly volume, right here in the top 16 for monthly volume. So that's pretty significant considering that it's only been here since February, the beginning of this month. We've actually got quite a bit of a volume for this coin in a very short period of time. Something that I instantly saw was an upward pointing channel. This reminded me a lot of the way that Bitcoin Cash, when it was first added to exchanges and started getting traded, it pumped exactly like this, did an ABC correction, and just this little consolidation pattern, and then broke out and started trending up. And it proceeded to do a 3-wave, and then a 5th wave came after that. So if we take our Elliott wave tool, this would be a 1, 2, because the ABC happened in between the 1 and the 2. And then a 3, look at this, another ABC correction, 4, and then a 5th wave up near the top of this channel. This trend invalidates, meaning that if we reject off this significantly and we start to fail any of these support levels, this one or this one, then I would not suspect any higher highs in this coin specifically. But with volume increasing right here, and prices increasing as well, and the fact that we still have not completed a 5th wave, then I would not be surprised at all if we do see another high coming in Bittorrent. It could be a quick one too. It could be like how Bitcoin Cash did this huge pump wick and then dropped. So as you start to break new all-time highs, I would be aiming to take profits in this one specifically. You might want to let a small percentage ride depending on what your trading plan is. But overall, this coin is one that has potential for more upside on the short term, and this channel is very strong. It's also an interesting project. I know that I personally love Bittorrent. I've been using it for a long time, since I was pretty young. And to see them coming into the crypto space and doing their own projects and coins really excites me in general. So keep your eyes peeled on this one. After a 5th wave, you know, this could be an extended 5th wave. It could go above the channel. Either way, after the 5th wave, you'd suspect a pretty big correction coming for this coin. It would probably correct for a couple months after that. So it's not something that I would hold in the long term right now until we get more chart data and a little bit of a better picture after this 5th wave, whatever happens here, if we do an extended 5th or whether we do a 5th wave to the top of the channel, that's where I'd start to buy the next ABC. But I'd wait, you know, until we were back below any of these levels back closer to the 3 or the 4 area after that fifth wave, because it would just be pretty overvalued on the short term after that. Let me know if you guys have any coins you want me to do analysis on. If there's a clean setup, I'll go ahead and make a video about it. And thank you so much for tuning in today's video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, stay profitable out there.